What about kids?
What about kids?
Because for a long time, there was like research around 2010 that found that parents were less happy than non-parents. Mm-hmm. About 10 million people lost their collective shit on social media. And you don't really hear about that study anymore. So like, where did we land on the kids and happiness thing?
Well, let's go back to our definitions of happiness, our three components of happiness, right? Mm-hmm. You have your affect, you have life satisfaction and meaning, right? Mm-hmm. It's true. Parents, when they're parenting, they are less happy from an affective and a life satisfaction viewpoint. They're absolutely less happy. They're underslept. Usually they're stressed over their kids. Their kids are probably being little dickheads, and they're worried constantly about their kids. Yeah. They're probably stressed financially to some degree. So yeah, there is a lot of things to be unhappy about with children. I saw recently, not too long before we were recording this, I saw something from Chappell Roan, the musician, and she's like, none of my friends who have kids are happy. They're miserable, they're underslept. I see no light in their eyes or something along those lines. Yeah. And, she's in her 20s. Okay, fine. The thing about it is that it's really getting at the affective part and the life satisfaction part while you're parenting. Yeah. But nearly every parent you ever talk to will say is the most important, meaningful thing I have ever done is to raise a child. It has nothing to do with getting enough sleep and making sure your morning routine is optimized or whatever. Yeah. That's such a shallow, kind of empty form of happiness that I think people who criticize people with children on that basis are getting at. That I just think that's a very naive definition of happiness that you're getting at when you're saying, oh, parents are miserable people. It's not that at all. It's that they've given up a lot of those other things to raise a child and have a huge source of meaning in their life. Yeah. I mean, this is what we're designed to do, quote unquote, by evolution, right? We're designed to propagate the species. So like, what more meaningful thing to do is there than that? This is coming from two men who do not have children.
Yes. So by the way, side note, I also think I find it interesting that comments, because you do hear comments like that quite a bit, especially among our generation and younger. It's funny though, because there's so many other things in life that require like a massive amount of sacrifice and short-term misery and struggle and stress that people don't say those things.
And nobody shits all over them for that. Yeah.
Like I've never heard, for instance, you could say exactly what Chappell Roan said. Yeah. You could say the exact same thing about anybody who's started a business, right? It's like multiple years, not enough sleep, stressed out of your mind, like no money, like it's constantly living on the edge of bankruptcy. And but nobody looks at that and it's like, wow, they seem so miserable. Why would you ever start? No, it's the opposite. It's like, it gets romanticized and people are like, oh, wow, they're so brave. And they're like going for their dreams and like, good for them, and it's, I feel like you could come up with multiple examples of that. Athletes, right? It's like athletes are stressed out of their fucking minds. They're literally training from the moment they wake up until the moment they go to bed. And yet we celebrate that. We don't, we're not like, oh, wow, they look so miserable. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
absolutely.
Is this landing? Like, yeah, it's strange that we pick children as the one thing to like kind of shit on.
Right. I mean, all those other things too, you're choosing to do that. If you choose to have children, sometimes you don't choose to have children. It happens. I get that. But you're choosing to have children, or you're choosing to start a business. You're choosing to be an athlete, or whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah. I don't quite get that either.
And it's those commitments, right? It's like when you are giving up your short-term happiness and your short-term satisfaction for that long-term meaning, purpose, and long-term life satisfaction, like that's the magic sauce, right? Like that's actually kind of what life's about. Like that's how you get off the hedonic treadmill. That's how you build a sustainable, like that is the eudaimonia, like the stable eudaimonic form of happiness is, being able to commit to things over the long run.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying the opposite either. I'm not saying you need children to be
You
happy.
have to be,
That's not,
totally.
there's plenty
But
of
you
that.
have to commit to something.
You do have to commit to something,
Yes.
and it probably is going to be painful.
Yes,
And you
and
probably are going to
sacrifice for
sacrifice
something,
something, and it's probably going to suck.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it won't suck as much as raising a kid does at times.
Yeah.
But you might also not be getting the back end meaning from it as much either. So
Yeah.